Hunter Secure Man Solomon. How do you feel about me introducing you that way?
It's me, and I guess that's all that matters. I don't really care what you call me. It's fine.
Okay.
Secure though. What's this?
Okay, so that's interesting that you asked that, because so you have no clue why I use this word?
I have assumptions, but I want to know why.
Well, you know what they say about assumptions,
Yeah.
so that's interesting that you would have them. Anyhow, based on our last communications, does that like give you any type of?
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable sharing with?
Oh yeah. No.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll go. Oh,
Why I'm calling you Secure?
you
Man.
want me to explain
Yes.
my assumptions? Okay. I think that based on what we talked about last time was that you were saying how you respected how at ease I am with being myself and not worried about the perception of others. So
Secure Man Solomon. Or Secure Solomon. That might be even better. Secure Solomon. Okay, sweet. So just to be more specific to you guys, last time me and Hunter, we sat down for a conversation. They picked an interesting day to come out with the cars, didn't they? I'm sorry if y'all hear that.
there's a bunch of like old school like 1940s cars out there.
And they keep on going in circles. They're showing off, but it's okay. Anyways, I apologize. So yeah, last time Hunter and I, we sat down to have a conversation. I asked him, "Who are you?" 3 times, and then the last time I asked him, he used 2 words. Remember what those 2 words were?
Slightly misanthropic.
Right. And it was at that moment where I immediately got intimidated by this man, Secure Solomon, and because I didn't know what misanthropic meant, and I was too insecure to let you know that I was ignorant in that moment. So then after that, I was not myself that whole entire interview. And it's funny though, because you might have thought differently.
Yeah.
How did like what
I mean, you seemed yourself, and I remember when you were telling me this, my first instinct was like, I feel like shit. I'm so sorry, because the last thing I want to do is be some kind of choking force to smother anything. So I don't know. I wasn't using a fancy word to seem elevated, but thought it was a good word.
and I feel like that's the beauty of it, is like you was just being yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use what I usually, if I was talking to the president, I'll probably use this word if he asked me or she asked me.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's why I respect it. So yeah, you didn't smother me. It's just that I was flight or fight, and I flew the fuck away.
Yeah.
And so now I was so like happy, my journey now of like trying to figure out who I am. This might be overdoing it, all right? But it's just like last time I was wearing a Regeneron sweater because that's a
Yeah.
place that we both worked.
Yeah. No, now you're just ready to fight me.
You see? He knows, okay? We're not gonna talk about what I tried to do to him before he got in here. But yeah, so I just want to start off that way. So that's why I call Hunter Secure Solomon, because he inspired me to like be comfortable with who I am. And if this is your first time like tuning in to watch me, and then you see me like this, you're probably gonna think, oh, he's doing a lot, he's not comfortable. I promise you, I am comfortable, but I was trying to prove something and I shouldn't be. But whatever. How do you think about my outfit? How do you feel about it?
Set piece. I don't know. I'm not sure where this conversation's going yet, so I'm open to seeing how it fits in. I'm assuming there's a point coming later that will be illuminated to me.
That's interesting. That okay. So now you are labeling me as like super intentional.
Maybe not, but I'm leaving the door open to it.
Okay.
If you're doing a statement, then I'm waiting for the message.
Maybe there's no message. Maybe I do a lot of things. Sometimes it's just like I just do it, and then after I reflect and think like, damn, something could have been done.
Well, there's always a message, whether you mean it or not. If there's nothing intended here, then you're just trying to be a goofball, and that's a message.
Damn. Okay, so the insults fly. So that's where the fighting might have to, like, you say that again, brother. It's a wrap for you. I wanted to talk about. So I do want to talk about like your. So I call you Hunter Secure Solomon, and I want to talk about like your childhood and like how that may have influenced who you are now.
Sure.
But before I do that, there was a time where we met for the first time,
Mhm.
and I want to know like your perception of me, and then I'll tell you mine of you.
Sure.
So you want to go first?
All right. I think. Am I remembering right? You were before we met Ariam, right? I'm trying to remember when that first time was.
Damn, I say me, and then he throws somebody else in the mix.
I'm trying to get my time
the timeline right.
because I remember
I was before though. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I remember you just being a very jubilant, bright, colorful guy.
Jubilant means what?
Joyous, bubbly,
Okay.
very fireworky. And I remember pretty quickly we started talking about comedy and such. And one of the earlier memories I have of us is having that conversation about trying to place Dave Chappelle's level of obviously he's great.
Yeah.
But there was an interested party in the car who felt politically otherwise. And I was trying to subtly tell you, maybe don't take this fight.
And you see, I didn't get it either.
Yeah.
I took the fight, and it was an interesting one. Not sure
Yeah.
if I lost or won, but yeah.
It was, I think everyone just said what they wanted to say, and then it worked out. But my point being, not that conversation, but more so that I think paints the image of you, in my perspective, coming in who you were, happy to be that, and bright and loud in all the right ways.
Wow. I should have just asked him that before, because that would probably help me. So, okay, my first, so after analyzing you for like a week, I'm like, yo, this guy is probably like a serial killer. Like, that's my thought. Like, what the fuck is going on with him, man? Because like your demeanor, it's like you are quiet, and I take that as like you're observing what's going on. You don't really let your emotions dictate your actions. So I'm like, who else do I know that does that? Like, is that like a Ted Bundy type of situation? Like, I don't.
Dahmer. No.
Okay, yeah, you see? So that was my first, about you, but that was also like, however this sounds to the Black community, that's what like attracted me to you. I know y'all gonna say pause if you guys are homophobic, but yeah, I was like, damn, something about this guy, like I really enjoy. How do you feel about me saying that?
I've heard this before.
Okay.
So like every time I hear it, I'm just like, what?
You've heard it what, from men and women?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've heard the term mysterious, and I'm just like, well, that just makes me sound like an asshole. But
Mysterious.
Yeah, I've heard this, and I guess every time I hear it again, I'm just like, all right, well, there's clearly
something true,
an unintended message that I'm sending.
Yeah, I appreciate that about you, man. Okay, so now that we got our perceptions of each other when we first met, let's talk about your childhood.
Sure.
So what are first off, how do you differ from your parents?
A lot, but also not a lot. All right. Well, I think that's big. Okay. The one that like came to me first is knowing how set in tradition my mom is. And while I understand where that comes from, my mom grew up in what was Yugoslavia, and then was in, I think, like later teenage years, I think 20-ish, give or take 5 years, during the wars of independence when Yugoslavia broke up. And the thing about that whole thing, I'm gonna have to get into like a brief history thing.
Do it.
The thing about the Balkan region, which people like have a hard time grasping, is that there's a lot of different kinds of cultures packed in one small spot that were all different or under different kingdoms and such. Like everything on the east used to be run by the Ottomans. Everything on the west, like Croatia and Slovenia, used to be under the Austrian Empire. But they're all Slavs. They're all different, but they all have different granddaddies. They're stepkids in one house. And then someone had a great idea of like, let's take all these people who have historically fought each other and not liked each other, make them one family real quick, and just assume it's going to work out. And then it very much didn't. And part of the thing of that is that we're talking about like hundreds of years of being under someone else's rule, but like having partial autonomy. So there was this big reawakening of the question, like, who are we? But as like a nation, and like now we have these borders. Now we're Croatian, but what does that mean? Now we're Serbian. What does that mean? And everyone trying to figure that out, and really ramping up nationalism, really ramping up, this is how things have been done. This is who we are. And that doesn't do it for me. Knowing my mom and how much she sets into these traditions and how much these little things that don't matter to her, just kind of radicalized me in the other direction of why, like, if tradition only exists because people before us did it, then what's the point? Like, tradition without the meaning is meaningless to me.
Are there things like, so you say you understand why she's like that way that she is, but have you seen like negative effects of what she's doing?
This is why I'm radicalized to it.
Okay.
Okay. Getting back to my childhood and why I'm different from this. I've definitely been shaped by it, but I've seen the extreme and was like, okay, it's kind of insane. So, my mom was born on a tobacco farm, but Croatia is like it's like beach then mountain and like no soil between, and they're growing tobacco out of the solid stone. This is how stubborn.
What the fuck?
This is how stubborn my family is. They're just like, no, we're not going to land. We're gonna bring the tobacco to the rocks. So so her grandfather was in the generation where you have kids to work the farms for labor. So like the kids had purpose. So
I respect that low key.
So, well, growing up, like there was like things that just like tasks that were like for me to do that like I would tell my friends and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like given a shovel and like, can you level that hill? And then like my brother-in-law was a contractor and he was like, you need like many machines to do this. And I'm like, I have a shovel. Or like, I'm working up to the big one, but like another one is like, can you, cut out the rotten drywall in the ceiling, but like don't cut the live wire. Be careful of that. Like, and like I'm 14. So
Try my best.
yeah, so shit like that. And then there was one time when I was like 9th grade, and being a high school student, I didn't want to do anything, so I had this take home final. It was like a big project. You had to do a bunch, like write a poem and then like make some essay on something. I don't know. I hadn't done it. I didn't even read the book that it was supposed to be like loosely based on. So I'm like cramming to do that. My mom was like, "Can you sand the front porch, the wood paneling today?" And I'm like I literally can't if you want me to pass 9th grade English. Like I need to do this. And she was super pissed. And like I'm on like Facebook Messenger, like communicating like, okay, what do we have to do for this part? And she thinks I'm not working. She thinks I'm just like blowing her off and not wanting to do the job that I was born to do. I come down for dinner and she's like, I thought you were busy. I'm like, okay, not worth it. I'm going back upstairs. And then she comes in and tells me this story. She opens the door and starts ranting. Very typical. How she grew up on this farm and how cats in Croatia are like vermin. They don't like them. They don't want them around. And how my great grandpa gave her like a potato sack and said, go down to the river and throw it in there. And then my mom was telling me how she did. And as soon as she started walking, she realized it was a bag of kittens. And then she tells me, and you throw it in the river because that's what you're told to do. And I said, what the fuck?
Whoa, hold the fuck up, bro. I appreciate you prefacing that before when you said, no, I'm getting ready for a big one.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's little stuff. Right. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what you do, like manual labor, whatever. And then it's like, okay, but I'm not going to drown some kittens because my mom says so.
Yo, hold on. I don't know. I don't think I sent you my last comedy special. I sent you my second one or my first one. I don't know. When I'm wearing a white shirt. I did another one where I'm wearing the Chucky outfit.
No, I didn't see that one.
All right, sweet. But in that one, I had a joke that said like, child labor tastes so sweet. So it's just funny that you was just saying that.
Yeah,
on one hand, I can kind of relate or support your mom in her thinking that give your kids purpose by when you're born, look, this is what you got to do. On the other hand, I'm not drowning, because in my joke, you was drowning cats, and in my joke, the Asian folks were killing and cooking the cats.
Yeah,
it was a joke though. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guess in a really roundabout way, that's what my childhood was like. That's where I differ from my mom, and also where I'm getting the sense that maybe tradition's a little bullshit. And yeah.
Okay, so what about Pops, by the way?
My dad, I think I'm of a similar personality to him. But how am I different?
Wait, that's where you get your like serial killer ways from your Pops?
No, he's much more like bubbly and charismatic than I am.
Okay.
But I think there's a temperament that I get from him and his side of the family. But I think I don't know. I always say that like my dad's kind of a smart guy, but dumb in some really dumb ways. Like
dumb in some really dumb ways.
There's just like this lack of wisdom that I've picked up on that is a little less obvious as drowning a bag of kittens. But I think I was distanced from him in his assessment and decision making for what being responsible looks like. My dad moved out when I was like 6. He had like a secret family for like a year.
Oh my gosh.
But like,
did they have a lot of cats?
No, but no, maybe things would be different if they did. But yeah, just I don't know, stuff like that, and like also piecing together why someone does things without being able to ask them directly, because there's this also the unconscious element of like, well, why do I do things, and I like, where can I fail to see that? And I don't know, everyone's got ideas, but then you see the decisions they make, and you go, but how?
Right. Okay. Did you have more that you wanted to add to that? I don't want to cut you off.
No, not without the podcast becoming like psychoanalyze my past. I'm good.
He said, "Don't do that today." Okay. All right. So then, and maybe you've said this already in there, and because I'm not the smartest person in the world, and I might have missed
You
it.
keep saying that. You're pretty good. You're pretty bright.
So I think I just say that to make myself feel better then,
Sure.
because that's what I want.
Yeah.
What you just did.
Yeah.
What'd you say to me?
You're pretty bright.
Say it one more time.
You're pretty bright.
See, look, maybe that's just what I want. So I gotta find something new. I'm ugly.
Good luck.
Damn, that's where it stopped. You draw a line at that. Okay. So, what are some qualities that your parents they've instilled in you, whether intentionally or unintentionally?
I think, given what I've already said, I've definitely got a work ethic that I got from them, from both sides. My grandpa was kind of a metaphorically a drill sergeant. He was actually a homicide detective, but he had that like discipline in him to get shit done, and on both sides that left its mark.
Wait, here in America?
In
Oh,
New
okay,
York.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He tell you any stories?
Yeah, a couple. I don't know how many are really worth repeating, but he was one of the people. There were, I think, like 23 of them that went in to reclaim the Attica prison when that was taken over in
I don't know what that is.
the 70s. Yeah, dangerous prison where the prisoners took control of the guard and the prison and held the whole prison hostage. And they had to send in like gas masks and tear gas, helicopters, that whole thing. My grandpa was one of the people that had to go there, and talks about it like he definitely has PTSD over it, but doesn't want to address it. Well, wants to talk about it, but doesn't want to talk about it.
That's his way of
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What was that called again? You said
Attica, the Attica Prison Rebellion.
Okay, I'm definitely looking to that.
Yeah.
That sounds like is there a movie or show about that?
Not that I know of.
Why? Because that's the type of shit that people like to watch.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. So your work ethic. Okay.
Work ethic. I also get my easygoing demeanor from my dad, whether that be from instruction or through genetics. But my dad and my grandma were always like this.
Your dad and your grandma.
Yeah.
And that's obviously your grandma from your dad's side.
Yeah.
Okay. See, okay, so I am kind of bright a little bit. You see what I'm saying? We playing this like about a month ago almost, right?
Yeah.
And I told myself that, all right, I'm gonna spend one whole day prepping for this thing, and it just never really happened.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna be talking to a friend, and that can go any way.
You can cut this up. It doesn't matter.
Well, cutting. See, always go back to the serial killer thing. Cutting shit up. What gas mask and all that stuff. Like, damn, bro. Okay. So are you a scientist?
Yeah. They changed our titles. Before I was a research associate or something like that. But now I'm associate scientist.
Okay. So so forget what someone else gave you the title, whatever. Forget that. Do you feel comfortable calling yourself a scientist?
I feel weird doing it.
Why is that?
I don't know, because why would I? You know, why would I have to explain it? Because that means so little to so many people, and I think the initial instinct is like, I've made it. Like, look at this cool title I have. Like, huh? Isn't this cool? And it fucking is cool. But
See?
But it feels gross just being like, I don't know. That's something for me, I think, to personally enjoy in my own quiet time, and just feels very strange to be like, what do you do? I'm like, hey, I'm a scientist. Like look at this with me. You know?
Like my outfit pretty much is like,
yeah. But like, I mean, when I'm talking to my friends and they say it, I'm just like, yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. You know, but like if it's like introducing myself to someone else, then like I always cringe a little bit when they're like, he's a scientist. I'm like, they don't need to know that.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
So my fault. Was you gonna say did I cut you off?
No.
Okay. So I told you that before you came, I was talking to one of my family members, right? Marquise. And we started talking about this guy, Hunter. And one of the things that he said, so I was happy, like saying, yeah, I'm about to talk with a scientist. Like, you know, I was putting some bravado on that shit. And he goes, oh, a scientist. I'm like, yeah. He says, like, how old is he? I said, I believe he's our age. And he's like, and he's a scientist. I'm like, yeah. why you keep saying that? And he's like, well, like the scientists that like I know, they're all like really old and like you don't really see them.
Yeah.
And I was like, so then I get in defense mode. Like, what you talking about my friend? Like,
Well, that's the thing too, is like I'm not here because of my like scientific accomplishments. You know, you see those people when they have something to say about their work. I'm here because I want to talk to you.
okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
There's people that want to talk to me, guys. But that was interesting to me because I never thought about that. Like here I am, and you explained that good. Like when your friends say it to you, it's cool, but you're not gonna introduce yourself as that.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, like the scientist, and then this other person was like, maybe we shouldn't just be throwing this word out.
To be clear, that's not something I like think about often. It's not something that like will bother me. Like it's just in the moment, like, okay, great, sure. But where was I going with this? I have thoughts.
But it's not. You don't need to defend yourself here.
I'm not feeling defensive.
Okay.
More so there's some meat on this bone to think about. Like I also feel weird on two things. One, most scientists you meet are older, and that's true. But I also feel weird about it because partially because of that, because I kind of snuck in through the basement to get this. Like most scientists, if you leave work titles aside, most people define scientists as like having a PhD level role of getting into the shit, whatever that kind of shit it is. Like my other friend is a legit like physicist scientist, like PhD from Harvard. You know, like that's a scientist that you can't take away. But I have a job title that says I'm a scientist. I have a bachelor's. You know, like I don't even have a master's. I'm doing the job. I'm performing the task, and I don't know how much of doing the task of pipetting or like collecting rat tibias makes me me. You know, it's what I do. It's aligned with a lot of what I would like to do with my time and like critical thinking and problem solving, but it's not fundamentally me. It's part of me. So to me, it always feels a little strange when people over identify with what they do, almost as a shield of not having a personality.
Wow. Right. Okay. So speaking of like you mentioned your friend, PhD, Harvard, right?
Yeah.
Why would that make him or her? Him. Why would that make him, or would it? Let me ask. Would it make someone who has these accomplishments more of a scientist than someone who maybe couldn't afford that route, but they did the work?
So I don't think so, but there was actually a lot of drama and controversy over the movement to change our titles. I think it came straight from George, one of the founders of Regeneron, saying that, well, if they're doing the job of a scientist, like, why can't they have the title? And so many PhDs are like, but I went to school for this. I got this degree that says I'm this. And they were
because they
real
spent
upset.
a whole bunch of fucking money.
Yeah,
and
so like, I think it's hard for me at this point to not separate the perception of the title and what it means to say I have this title and what the task is. I never really cared about the prestige of anything. So like that's never really been why I wanted to do it, but knowing that this is in the thoughts of many people who think it, like I think I should preface and caveat like, yeah, I'm able to do this young because I don't have the thing that they think that I should have. And I don't care what they think, but it's true.
How often do you not keep your thoughts to yourself?
I mean, it's not often that I'm in a setting where I'm supposed to just say all my thoughts right into the microphone, you know? So most of the time I don't say anything. But if someone asks me something and it's in a appropriate setting, then I'll tell them. But like, you know, if I'm at a wedding, they're like, what do you think of the bride? I'm not going to say like, I never really liked her, you know?
So I guess what I'm saying is like, let's say sometimes I'll be like watching a movie or something, and my perception of what just happened, I want the world to know. So I'll just shout out like, he's ugly or he's dangerous or something that I just seen. Like, so you don't have those type of brain farts or whatever?
I have a very well-defined filter between thought and speech.
Wow. How'd you develop that?
I think it's deeper than you realize. I think back to the childhood question.
Okay.
So on the weekends I would go to my dad's house and he had that whole secret family, and that was a whole other bag of...
Wait, you knew about the secret family?
I mean, after everyone knew about it,
Oh,
I knew
okay.
about it. And then my dad moved out because everyone knew about the secret family. So
Then he chose them over y'all?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's pretty crazy. That's the other thing too. Like, okay, as an aside, it's because it's funny. My friends, I think my friends all have something wrong with them when you use humor to cope with it, and like we all think it's funny. We just talk about the shit that we live through. But I think it's always funny when we say it in a crowd where there are people that we don't know.
Mhm.
Like we say something and we all laugh, and they go, "Is he okay?"
Right.
Like, oh no, that's horrible. And I'm like, no, laugh. Like, stop. if you say it like that, it's serious, and we have to confront it. Yeah, my one friend in college would describe his college friend as the person who has the craziest family. He would say, everyone always say my family's crazy, but he was like, this guy said that his mom had a clown face tattoo. So that's like 8 years ago or so, and then couple like 2 months ago, we were at a bachelor party for a friend. We were meeting our other friends, college friends, and then he said, everyone always says their family's crazy, but Hunter's family, and I only thought like, damn, did I really overcome clown face? Yeah,
I mean, with the cats trying to, like,
that's the tip of the iceberg.
yeah. So I'd say so. Wait, is there, like, obviously there might be more to that, the clown face thing. Do you know? It's not your place.
I
to
don't know
tell?
that guy.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because I'm interested now.
I don't know him. You'll have to ask him.
Okay.
But I was getting somewhere, and I got sidetracked with crazy family.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why well-defined filter?
Yes.
So at my dad's house on the weekends, their family was also kind of crazy, and they would twist things. They would, I don't know. They took my dog, like my childhood dog, at my mom's house.
Yeah.
My dad took him to the vet once, and then he never came back, and they were their dog now. I got Toy Story in the plastic wrap for Christmas on VHS, and I brought it there once to watch it over there, and then it was suddenly no, that was Aaron's. All my shit would become their shit. I didn't have a bed for like a year. I slept on hardwood floor with like a couch, like those really uncomfortable couch pillows that your grandma has. That was my bed. Not good situations to just be in, but also all the siblings were like, it was just a pit of vipers. Anything I said was immediately twisted to be exactly what I didn't mean, and then I was tattled on for something I never said. You just kind of, I don't know, after enough of that, and after doing, like, experiencing this at like 7, you're just like, okay, well, don't say anything because it's all ammo against you. And I think I overdeveloped that muscle, and I am also now very comfortable being comfortable when people are uncomfortable.
It is a joke about the like you kind of like giving like a serial killer type of thing, but just like with more context, shit just starts to make sense. Also, I can agree with what you were saying about like your friends, how like y'all use, I guess, humor to like cope with whatever. Because I always say, and I think we talked about this in text, it's like, maybe I'm a comedian now. I don't know if I'm gonna slap myself with that title, but like I don't think I'm telling any jokes. I'm just telling my life story. Bro.
Yeah, right.
So I definitely relate to that. Man, I'm gonna be thinking about for the rest of this interview and for the conversation and later on, like cats. Yeah. And my cat, ironically, I have a cat, had a cat named Ali. He recently passed away. Now I hope he wasn't drowned, but I can't be for sure because he wasn't with me when he died. So maybe, maybe.
And I love cats now.
Yeah. I did see that on your Instagram because I was stalking you a little bit. Like,
that shit's old.
Well, you still had cats and no dogs on that mug, or is there a dog on there?
Cindy's got a dog.
No, but on your Instagram,
not on mine. No,
you see, so that's how I knew like you like cats. Are you a dog person?
I like all animals.
Okay, that's why you work where you work.
Not really, but it does enable me to have the skill set I do. Like people I work with still like flinch at rats. I don't care.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I always thought it was because. Yeah. To me, I don't know. I grew up with like, I don't know if I mentioned this. My dad's a herpetologist. He's collects snakes.
What? He's a what?
Herpetologist.
I don't even know what that is.
Reptile scientist.
Wait, your dad's a scientist?
Kinda. he did it in the way that I did, where like he doesn't have the degree for it.
Okay, snuck in the back door.
Back door, yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But like since he was like 4, he was collecting like skinks in the backyard, and then collecting snakes, and then being like 15 and like a boa constrictor is loose in the house, and my grandma's freaking out over it. Damn. So. In very much the same way, he just kind of did the thing. So like I wouldn't I don't want to sound like I'm taking away the fact that he is a herpetologist away from him by saying like not really, but not in the way that you're thinking, and not in the way that your friend was thinking about me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Using this word scientist, do you think everyone can benefit from like being a scientist? Like if they embody like what a scientist is supposed to do?
Yeah. Because it's funny. I remember being asked what do I think my biology degree did for me, and I was just like, nothing. was my initial thought, and then I kept thinking about it, and the answer I ended up giving the guy was it gave me a really good bullshit detector for like when people try to use like it's scientifically proven to you. And I don't know, there's a lot of just nonsense on the internet, or just on the news, where people are like, yeah, it's science, and it's like, but is it? And the value it gave me, and the tool that has continued to be refined and much more important every day that I think about it, is just being able to look at a picture and look at a set of data, look at something, and really know what it means. Not like, oh yeah, the bar goes up, and it's like, okay, but did you zoom in on the graph? You know, like, what do the bars actually mean? What's the context here? And the first like 8 months of my job was really just like help out and then read papers and try to find out what's fishy. Because especially because I work in aging and age-related disorders, and that's something that's heavily funded privately, which is some of the most questionable science that you can get, because it's just like, what does the boss want to see? Make the graph say it. And
Damn, imagine taxes if that. Okay, anyways,
yeah. So like, I don't know. There's academic dishonesty, and my job was to find out what works, what makes sense, and what do we try to prove in our own hands, so that we can say like, look, we did it. We did it at Regeneron. We did it with all the money that we could throw at it, and it works. This is real. And I think that helps a lot outside of the actual scientific realm. Funny way that it applies is as simple as like video games. With my one friend who works in business, and like works with dealing with people and them feeling confident in spending their money. That's where he's from, and we're playing the same game, early access. There's problems, there's bugs, and he dies to something, and he goes, oh, I think it's this, and then he says, this is how it works. And I go, oh, okay, he must have read that. So then it happens to me, and I go, that's not how that works. And I go, okay, wait, something happened to him that was specific that needs more context. I think the scientific background gives you the constant reminder, what is the context where that result popped out.
Can you? So I appreciate you giving that example, because I was gonna ask for an example of detecting bullshit. If you feel comfortable, can you give an example of how that bullshit detector works or shows up in your partnership?
Sure. I think in any relationship I've had, it's not been so much as like detecting dishonesty, and more so about, for example, looking to a resource for help with something, or looking to, like, okay, there is one thing that I got that was got sent to me, that was describing, I guess, a well-described relationship dynamic between, I'm trying to remember how the post said it, but it was something to the effect of, the category of people which seek validation and are in a trauma response from past issues, and how they naturally gravitate to people who are avoidant of some kind, where when something upsets them, they pull out and they try to like find peace within, and that naturally causes conflict. One of them needs someone else to help them get through it, and the other one needs to be alone to get there. And this dynamic is perceived within the two of us, right? They send me this, and then I'm listening to this Instagram post, and I'm thinking, is this actually supported? You know, like, is it descriptive of us? Sure. But is this a valid, are their conclusions salient? Do they make sense with what they're saying? And I found that a lot of what I was getting sent made sense, It sounded right, but what their conclusions were wasn't really saying anything. They were just like, yeah, no, this is the thing. Like, this exists. I'm like, yeah, okay, so then, like, next step. And some of it just kind of felt a little, it felt like it was written narratively to the person looking this up, which, and more often than not, is the person who is looking for, I wish I remember how they said it, but the person seeking validation.
Right.
And it seemed catering towards that perspective. And the message I was seeing from that is that the person avoiding it should kind of get over it. And I'm like, well, that's not fair, you know?
Do you feel that same way with or not feel the same way, but like astrology and
you don't even fucking start.
okay. No, you just hear it so fucking often. It's just like, oh my God.
It's okay. So there is a use for it, but what upsets me is the mysticism associated with it. The use for the mysticism.
Okay,
the magical thinking behind it. Like if you have like a deck of tarot cards, which is like fortune telling, like it starts being bullshit as soon as you think it's magic. As soon as you think like, but the cards said it. The whole point of it is it's a lens of viewing things differently. Like looking at even astrology is such a shitty tool for this too, but like the tarot deck I think makes sense. Like you're looking at it like, okay, so what can I like, here are the virtues aligned for me. How does my life set on this? How do I look at my life through these perspectives? And that helps you like analyze things. But like astrology is like, well, I'm a Capricorn, so typically I'm very business oriented. It's prescriptive. It tells you what you are and how you should look at things, and it's not. It tells you who you should be, and I don't do it. I can't abide by it.
Have you ever considered listening to one of these things about yourself?
The thing is that they're all written to make you feel that.
Right.
Like here's another experiment you can do with it. Have your friends send you 5 of them, and they won't tell you which one's you, and all of them will feel like it's you.
Right.
So, but that's the thing. That's where it can be a useful tool. However, then people get attached to like, no, this is me. And the point is if all of it can apply to you, then does any of it really matter?
What's the because they sell like rocks and stuff?
It's not like there's one unified body of astrology, you know?
Well, I'm just saying though, what is the ultimate purpose? Like I'm thinking like from a capitalistic standpoint, there got to be something behind it.
I think it's less purpose-based and more ignorance-based. People choosing to put too much value in it. People acting in bad faith, not in a malicious way, but in a way that is in a way that is kind of washing your hands of responsibility, giving you the illusion of having fewer choices than you do, saying like, no, see, look, it's here.
That is dangerous. And that word that you use, ignorance, I like that word because I say ignorance is expensive. So the less you know, the more you pay.
Yeah.
And that's not just like monetary. That's just like in life. If you don't know something and you walk off that cliff and you don't know that there's, nothing there, your life is probably in danger. Okay. Now, for this one, I already gave my excuse. But so Kurt smells like teen
spirit.
Teen spirit.
Yeah.
Now, the excuse that I gave is that I said that I was going to dedicate one day to like, prepare for this. And I didn't, but I started watching this the video that you sent maybe an hour before we were scheduled to do this. And so I got like 5 minutes in, and like how I am these days, like it's hard for me to like just read a book or watch a video when like something resonates with me because I pause, I reflect.
Going on that. Yeah.
So immediately that started happening when I'm watching this video. I'm like, okay, I know I'm not gonna finish this shit. It's 23 minutes. I need like 3 hours to finish this 23-minute thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, you did a good job at summarizing it. And how you summarized it, or what I stuck to is that all invention is reinvention.
Yeah.
Can you explain why you sent that to me?
I remember. So you sent me that stand-up that you alluded to before, and in it you told a story of a kid being wrong at something, and you deciding like, okay, I'm going to teach. Oh, I remember now. He was like, didn't you steal that joke or something to that effect? And your whole point was that like, what, don't you use words? I think is what your punchline was. Like those are the words that I used, and the whole point being that similarity to something someone else said doesn't necessarily mean theft, doesn't necessarily mean anything dubious, just means that it's an idea that two people could have had independently. And I don't know. I don't remember how you landed that whole thing, but I remember resonating on that. And then by chance, I'm watching this video that talks about the music theory behind common songs. And this one was Smells Like Teen Spirit, which so many different aspects of it were, to put it generously, inspired by, but to put it much less generously, almost ripped wholesale from. And even the like Kurt Cobain, Dave Grohl, and Chris Novoselic all talked about how they got where these different aspects came. Like the main riff sounds just like Boston, More Than a Feeling. It just plays slightly differently. The whole like the sound wave of the song, the quiet bit, the loud bit, the quiet bit, the loud bit, was Kurt saying he just wanted to make the Pixies. I don't remember which band it was. That could be wrong.
You said the Pixies in the...
Okay, good. Yeah, inspired by the Pixies and their whole feel. He wanted to write a pop song inspired by them. And Dave Grohl talks about how the drum line he got almost entirely from some disco beat. I don't remember.
I didn't finish the video, by the way. So
yeah, but the whole point that this video creator was making on behalf of them, because it's they're the video creator and all of these musicians were on the same wavelength here, and that invention being reinvention means that, like, of course, everything you create will be inspired by the things you've consumed before it, to varying degrees. And of course, at a certain point, you're just stealing. But like, they are doing enough, and they are making an effort to make it their own, even if it is heavily inspired by some songs. Now, even just like take the whole riff and say like, yeah, I took that from I don't know, like there are examples, but I don't remember them. But you'll hear a sampling, you'll hear actual just straight cut.
Straight, they take the whole damn thing and just change the words.
Yeah,
but still, that is different.
They're doing art,
right? Yeah. So yeah, I did. When I got around to like actually trying to watch it, I did appreciate it, even though I know you summarized it. But it's like, you pick this out for me. Let me watch this thing. So I'm definitely gonna finish it at some point, even though we just talked about it right now.
Yeah,
but it's like, and I like the illustrations.
I summarized
and stuff.
because I know that. I don't know. It's presumptuous to be like, here, watch this like 4-hour video I sent you. You know, like, okay, yeah, like this is only 20 minutes. That could be a lot. I know it's dense because it's talking like it actually. He's writing out the music notation on the paper. That doesn't mean anything to me either. You know, I'm not trying to overwhelm you. I'm like, okay, this is the source, and these are the salient points of why I sent it.
Now that kind of makes me feel like shit, because I send Hunter like my stuff, and I don't do that. I say, well, I can't summarize these jokes, or you're not gonna.
I don't expect you to.
Wait, what you trying to say, brother?
What was my last name?
No, what you trying to say, brother?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, are you trying to tell me that that's why you don't expect me to, because your last name is...
No, I heard you wrong. No. I just because I do something doesn't mean I expect it to be done in return.
But what's your relationship with expectations?
The less you expect to be so, the happier you'll be. Things will just happen. You can if they happen the way you want it to, then you're lucky. That's it.
Who'd you get that from?
Experience.
Oh.
I'm sure I got it from somewhere else, but in different forms. But just, I don't know. If I'm sure reading some kind of classic Stoic thing was telling me like, and Buddhism, I don't know.
See, I just wanted to go back to like the overall point that invention is just reinvention, and that was kind of almost a...
Yeah, I think that's something I failed at really crystallizing, is that the degree of which you do it is also unknown to you. You will steal something without realizing it.
Facts. Yeah. I steal every day, and I'm happy about it. I'm happy that I can admit it. Whereas before, I would fight tooth and nail to say this is my shit, but like, no, it's not, and I'm proud that it's not. Okay, so anyhow, I sent you an article.
Yeah, toxic positivity, right?
Right. I'm not sure if you got to read it because, okay, cool. So what was the name of it you said?
Toxic positivity.
Okay, so just based off that name and leave all the contaminants of the actual article out right now. Based off that name, what was your thoughts based off toxic positivity?
It's hard to approach that like I don't know what the content of the article is, but in a brief attempt to do so, just being blindingly, smokescreeningly positive to prevent actual assessment of the issue at hand.
And, okay, so my first thoughts was, we're doomed. I'm like, damn, And I sent it to you like with that. I didn't really want to like give you too much of what I was thinking.
Sure.
So I just wanted to hear like your perspective of it. But man, when I seen that thing, I was like, what the fuck? Excuse my language, but what the fuck?
Yeah.
'Cause-
I'm being too happy for you now.
Come on, son.
Yeah.
It pissed me off, bro.
Yeah.
And I was so pissed. I said, I can't fight this battle alone. I gotta send this to Hunter. It was probably like 1 fucking a.m. when I sent it to you.
Yeah.
I was pissed. Anyways, so okay, let's talk about this goddamn article. I wrote down, and yes, I'm on my goddamn phone. I don't care. Okay, so I wrote down examples of they have 1, 2, 3. They have 3 examples of like what this is. Do you mind me reading?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, and I gotta cite the source. So this is all from verywellmind.com. That is verywellmind.com. And for some reason, I think that's ironic. Verywellmind.com. Okay. Anyway, so here's the examples that they give of toxic positivity. Okay. When something bad happens, such as losing your job, people may say to just stay positive or look on the bright side. While such comments are often meant to be sympathetic, they can shut down anything the other person might want to say about what they are experiencing. That's one example. And my fault, like I just learned how to read, so like if it's a little messed up,
You're fine.
thank you. The second example, after experiencing some type of loss, people might say that everything happens for a reason. While people will make such statements because they believe they are comforting, this is also a way of avoiding the other person's pain. All right, now this last one, this is one that gets me in trouble all the time. All right, all the time. Okay, here we go. Upon expressing disappointment or sadness, someone may respond that happiness is a choice that suggests that if someone is feeling negative emotions, it's their own fault for not choosing to be happy. Okay, so based off those 3 examples, if you remember, is there any one particular one that may, get you in any type of bind?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's good, man. You're
Yeah.
good. You're good. Okay.
So I'm reminded of one funny instance where my old roommate was getting a new job, real nervous about it, and she was like almost in tears to the point of saying, like, but what if I disappoint them? And I feel like most people, like my girlfriend at the time was even saying like, no, you won't. And I think that's toxic positivity because I came out pretty hard. I was just like, no, you'll disappoint him and it's going to be fine. Everyone does. You're not special for disappointing them. And like, I think that's viewed as very negative, but it's true and also takes the sting out of it, Like if it doesn't matter, if everyone's going to do it, if you're going to do it, then why are you treating it like it's special?
Right.
I don't know. I think there's a lot in there that why does it make you upset?
So, well, it makes me upset because, okay, so our last conversation, we was kind of talking about like stoicism and like how people think that you don't, like you're always happy, you don't have no other emotion. And that's not true. Like there's people call it emotional intelligence. I don't know if I want to use that word, but just like people who process their emotions a lot faster and they realize that if I sit in this emotion, then there's not going to be any productive outcome.
Yeah.
So I got to do the things that's going to get me out this emotion to make me feel happy. So then boom. But that last one about disappointment. Now that I don't really relate to that specific one, but like every time I'm in a situation where it's me and someone else and we both experience the same thing, but we have 2 different perspectives of it, they're upset and I'm happy I just learned something. And then they'll ask me, oh, why you not upset? And then I'll probably respond with, well, you're choosing however you're looking at it. And then that's why it comes back to like, oh, Kai, you blah, 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 blah. Okay, tell me about myself. Yeah. Anyways. So yeah, that's why I don't like that one. Or
yeah,
the whole thing.
I think that's like inelegantly put because
What'd you just say?
Inelegantly put.
What I just said?
The whole dynamic, because the paper saying that it's by you saying it's a choice to be upset is silencing that their actual emotional response. And I think I think a very common misread of stoicism is the idea that like even just surface level, when people don't know anything about the actual philosophy, like what they mean by stoic is like unfeeling and no emotion, but that's missing a whole part of it. The second level of misunderstanding it is assuming that it is the shutting down of your emotion. But I think the whole point of stoicism is not to be led by it like the cart going down the hill and you're the ox attached to it. So to be informed and empowered by, and often it's very important to have a good grasp and an acceptance of the negative feelings, a good grasp of like you will disappoint them and it's going to be fine. And I hear what you're saying by saying like you're choosing to, but I think the more delicately put way to say that is you're failing to see the value of the negative here.
And that's probably just where your bachelor's degree come into play, because you know better words than I do or whatever. And like, so
They're just words.
Huh?
They're just words.
Or just, no, but when you have to know more words to like be able to deliver
Yes.
a set of words.
I hear you.
So like, I understand that there's a saying that hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
And I never thought that was true, or I never wanted to see the truth in it until I started to like analyze the things that I've done. And it's like, wait, I only tried to hurt somebody else because, oh, wait, I was hurt, or I felt disrespected or something like that.
You were hurt in a way that made you not learn the lesson, to not hurt, to not repeat that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, see, and again, these different words, man. Hey, when I'm trying to cook, let me cook, all right? Nah, it's okay. No, I appreciate that. But yeah, so like that's why initially like this article, it pissed me off. But then like after like actually reading and stuff, like I understand. So it's not saying, I don't think it's saying, and you give me your thoughts on this, is that it's not saying like you having this like happy outlook makes you toxic positive. It's saying that things that people say to you can be toxic positive. So after like reading it, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, very well, mind, cool. But that headline is a little crazy.
I hate those. Like, I don't know. There's a whole this specific conflict I've seen pop up in many different settings of how should you persuade people, and a lot of it I've seen that you shouldn't have to bend over backwards to explain why something's hurting you. You should just be able to say like, no, stop it. Like, see it from my perspective. And I think that article is taking it from at least that approach of saying like, calling it what it is and saying, no, this is toxic. And that it worked in your case. It pulled you in to say like, why is it toxic? I don't believe you. Fuck this shit. Like, let me send it to my friend, shit talk this article. And then you go, okay, I get it. That I don't think works most of the time. I think most of the time that just further radicalizes people. And I think that's like a whole layer separated from the actual issue, because they're trying to address specifically toxic positivity, and I'm having a second commentary on top of it of, is that the best way to address toxic positivity? And I don't know, and I don't know that I can know, but yeah, it's hard to change people's mind.
And that, do you care to change people's mind?
I think you have to. If you don't care, then you're just giving up on people.
Well, aren't you the one that's slightly misanthropic?
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't mean I make complete internal sense. I don't want to deal with people, but also I still got to hope for them.
Wait, so okay. So you said that if you don't change or if you don't want to like care about people's mind being changed, then you're giving up on people.
Yeah.
So it's like, from my experience, I feel like the more I've tried to, and maybe how I deliver words, but the more I've tried to change somebody's mind, the more they take pride in what they believe in.
And that's how it happens.
So it's like, I'd rather just take the approach of, okay, well, let me just be the best human I could be. And maybe you might be interested in like the benefits you see I'm having by being a better human.
There is definitely a point where you're wasting your time and it happens way quicker than you would expect. But I think like no disagreement there. I'm not talking about the moment to moment, but I mean like bigger picture. If you don't have hope or don't have an interest in trying to change someone's mind. My mom, for example, in this whole Yugoslavic tension thing, right? Like even one of the grossest interactions that I've seen her do was we were at a Bosnian bakery, and the quick history back thing. So Croatia's on the far west of Yugoslavia, right? And then there's Bosnia right next to it, and then Serbia right next to it. Croatia is Roman Catholic. Bosnia is a mix of Roman Catholic and Muslim and Eastern Orthodox, and Serbia is just Eastern Orthodox. And this whole fight, this whole like war crime situation that broke down was over these small individual differences in like religious belief and cultural like origin. And we went to this Bosnian bakery, and the guy there talked or said some kind of goodbye that was clearly from Muslim origin, and she replied with the very like dismissively and rudely with like the Roman Catholic version of saying goodbye, being like, no, not Allah, God is the idea. Basically, that was the message, and I was like, ooh, what the fuck, gross.
Oh man, the reason
Gross.
why that is so hilarious, man. Holy shit. I don't know how these things be happening. That happened to me today. Man. It's this Christian, and I've been like looking into Muslim stuff, and not stuff. I don't be disrespectful. I'm looking into it. And like so, I'm talking about Allah, and she's or I told her about like Shahada, and her response was, well, whenever you get done with doing whatever that thing is, it's like, whoa, damn. Okay,
Yeah.
so, but then I said to her, like, look, man, 8 days ago, I would have found that disrespectful, but today I know your heart, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that happens so often.
And that kind of thing happens all the time. And I guess knowing that and knowing it's like my mom, like, what am I to do? Am I supposed to assume that it's hopeless and not try and not make any effort, and just let her go on being completely misguided in the pain of a war from like 30 years ago? Or like, or do I
Okay.
try any way I can think of to try to make the point that maybe you're in the past a bit?
Okay. So, okay, I get it. So I guess what I mean is that like, here's where patience comes into play. That virtue is like, if I say something right now and your response tells me that you're not even open to another perspective, then I'm not gonna spend that moment.
Oh,
trying
yeah.
But like, I'll come back to it in a week.
Yeah.
And just slowly try to like,
Right.
And I'm not saying how I think is right. No. But I'm just open to more than it seems like you are. So it's like, let's just be open together.
Yeah, like the other thing too is I don't think you have to be right to be able to say that's definitely not right. Like, I don't have to have it figured out to be like, that's like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I know you don't. You think you do, but you're very far.
Everything keeps on coming back to the kittens, like drowning kittens.
Yeah.
Because like, like that is not cool. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Have you ever? I don't know who you listen to if you listen to music at all. Do you know who Drake is?
I know who he is.
Okay, so
The guy from Degrassi, right?
Right. The actor. He's an actor. He's an actor. Okay, so but I'm talking about his musical whatever. So imagine Drake, Taylor Swift, and then because we were just talking about Kurt Cobain, right? Imagine those three in one, and the world didn't recognize that yet, but you got to meet this person.
Sure.
So I mentioned those three names because this is how I feel about this artist that I got the pleasure to meet before the world recognizes who he is. His name is Hello Jalen, right? So I'm gonna sing some of his lyrics. Not sing. Damn.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool. All right, so he said, "Ain't no rapper effing with my pen or pencil. I might pop out with Lil Brody just to see what we get into."
Who's Lil Brody?
Have you ever heard the term Brody before?
No.
Okay, so that usually refers to like brother.
Okay.
So little brother.
Okay. So no rapper's gonna touch my pen and pencil, right? And you're gonna start some shit if someone tries, right? So that's definitely declaration of this is my own stuff, and I'm proud of the poetry I'm speaking, right? And like no one's gonna fuck with that. That's me, right?
I don't think there's any right or wrong because your interpretation is yours.
Agreement.
Yes, I took it that way as well.
Yeah.
And then like I might pop out with Lil Brody just to see what we get into. Like, I don't know, it sounds like a good time. You're open to anything.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Run the town, run the state, run the country. Used to like Cassandra, but she went down to Kentucky. When I'm out in public, I tell pedestrians don't touch me. Boar's head, I stay by the bread just like some lunch meat. I fucked that up a little bit, but it's okay.
Can I read this?
Sure.
I feel like I'd have an easier time with that.
All right, so I'm gonna throw it to you, and there we go. I got an iPhone. Hunter don't know anything about that.
All right. Okay.
Can you say it though?
Run the town, run the state, run the country. Use what Cassandra.
Oh shit! Used to want Cassandra. My bad.
Oh, you're right. Used to want Cassandra, but she went down to Kentucky. When I'm out in public, people tell pedestrians don't touch me. Boar's head, I stay by the bread just like
some lunch meat. There we go. Interpret that.
All right. I don't know where he's going with the first line, like running the town, state, and country. I feel like that's needs some more context, but I think the rest of it's kind of telling the story that he's put his personal life aside for success. Right? he wanted Cassandra, but she's gone, and he stayed by. I believe bread means money.
Yes.
So he stayed where the money is.
Okay.
But I don't know where the
first thing, run a town, run a state, run a country.
I like what as a pursuit of ambition of this is what I want to like go for is run shit, like do the business before personal life.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then there's one more on there, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
She got pretty boobies.
She got pretty boobies, but I like her shirt.
Yeah.
And she got a 9 to 5, but she liked to twerk. Ex-girlfriend, dead to me. I put her in the dirt. And if I like your resume, then we can make it work.
Yeah, you got that. Perfect. Okay. She got a 9 to 5, but she likes to. Okay. Very, very. I've always been told that it's very funny to hear me say things like he is tight and like over pronunciate everything. Okay, yeah. So I think very similar, like looking for a partner that looks at staying by the lunch meat. You know, like if I like your resume, then we can make it work. Even describing it as work. Is he a serial killer? Put his dead girlfriend in the dirt?
He might be. Hello, Jalen.
Yeah. And pretty boobies, but I like a shirt. Sounds like a defensive. Like, I got called out. Yeah, good shirt. I don't know where he's going with that.
I looked at that a little. You can pass it over here. I mean, the whole thing. That was one fucking hand. You saw that? I caught that one hand. Oh my god. Anyways, she got pretty boobies, but I like her shirt. I like your your perspective of that. Because how I looked at that was like everyone else keeps on complimenting you on your fake titties, and I'm just throwing that out by fake. I don't know if they fake or real.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting mad. I'm projecting. But I really like your fashion choices.
Me?
No, not you personally. I'm just talking about that. I
I
don't know your fashion choices.
First time I heard that.
Yeah, no, I do like your fashion choices though, because your fashion choices are you. Matter of fact, let me tell the story real quick. Hunter, there was a point in time where you were like in between cars, and then you asked if you can get a ride. So I came to give you a ride.
Oh yeah.
I've got somewhere in White Plains, I think. Anyways, when I got there, you came. I don't know if you remember this, and I apologize if I'm putting you on blast.
Nah.
Cool. So you came out and you had your shoes in your hand and you just walking barefoot to the car. I'm like, what the fuck?
I actually thought about this recently too, because I remember we talked the night before and I was like, yeah, okay, like 7:30, whatever time. And then you showed up at like 6 and I was like, I was still asleep. Like I was not ready for you. And then like I could tell when I got in the car that like you were a little annoyed and I was like, it's at 7:30.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even I was annoyed.
I got the sense that you might be, and I was like, I don't know how to approach that by saying like you're annoyed, but you're wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. So I don't think that I was annoyed. I was actually, so first off, me seeing you come with the like with your barefoot, I was just like, yo, this just reaffirms that like this dude is comfortable with who he is. Like, because he don't know how I might feel about bare feet in cars, and he's just coming. But then outside of that, I was happy that you were gonna get a chance to listen to something that I like to listen to. I was listening to a podcast.
Yeah.
What was it called? Damn, I'm blanking right now. But it was about like the Detroit mayor, Kwame Kilpatrick, and like Crime Town. That's what it's called, Crime Town.
Yeah.
So I was actually excited, like, all right, because I'm interested in you. So I'm like, yo, all right, here's this chance for Hunter to hear what I'll be listening to. Huh?
Isn't that the best?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but look, it comes to find out that you thought I was annoyed. So like, what the fuck?
It was. It could have easily been in my head too, because I know like you texted me and then I was still up there. I think you called me and I was like, oh shit, I am literally not wearing clothes in a bed. Like give me a minute. And I made you wait and I felt bad about it. And I don't know. I could have easily misread the situation.
Yeah, you definitely misread it because I was excited, bro. I'm like, all right. And then when you there, we was like we had maybe 5 minutes to go until we got to our destination, and you had asked. You said, "What is this?" Mm-hmm. I was like, "Oh shit, yeah!" So I told you the name. I don't know if you ever listened to it. I don't really care, but yeah, that was how I experienced that. Like, yo,
great,
yeah, this guy. Damn, that's interesting. You said I was annoyed, huh? Because I'm black.
I didn't think so. Wait, you're what?
No, I don't even know, bro. Whatever that means.
Yeah.
okay, the last time that we actually hung out, maybe like a year or so ago, I think, and we got like lunch or I don't know what that
Captain
was.
Lawrence. Yeah,
Captain
yeah,
Lawrence with a whole bunch of your friends that I was trying to convert to my friends, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Okay, and when we was there, your partner was there too. Hunter is a gay man.
Well, there.
Gay meaning happy. My bad, no disrespect. Okay, but your partner was there, and we started talking about love languages for a minute.
Yeah,
We didn't stay there though.
yeah.
So I I wanted to talk about that. Like, yeah, love languages. What's up?
I don't remember how that conversation went, but I feel like this has. I don't know. I know it originates from a book, but it feels a lot to me like Instagram self-help. You know, like where it's very. It feels just a little shallow. You know, like I feel like it's. I don't know. Show me a guy who doesn't, or anyone. Show me any person who doesn't express all of them at some point. And if the point is like, what is the priority and where is your degrees, then I kind of feel like it's not that effective. I kind of feel like it's like wearing a mood ring on and trying to say like, oh, well, mine turns blue. You know, like, well, I like you giving gifts, and it's like, okay, but I'm pretty sure you also like acts of service or whatever the other one is too, right? Like, I get what they're trying to say. It feels hollow to me. It feels a little thin, and I feel like there's a bigger conversation you're wishing you're having right now, but don't have the tools to actually express.
Okay, so you understand that okay, so that can be a tool.
It is a tool.
Okay,
I feel like it's a bad tool.
it's a bad tool. Damn. So what's good or bad? I thought Shakespeare said nothing's good or bad, but thinking makes it so.
That's actually a old Taoist belief too. But I feel like, in my perspective, it's hollow and it doesn't actually describe things so much as it does reprioritize things into how little nice neat boxes that life doesn't actually fit into.
I want to spend some time talking about this now because you just a different perspective that I never even thought about. Because I've always seen the benefit in it.
Sure.
Like just no, let's just say acts of service. If my love language is acts of service, but my partner, her love language, and I'm saying what she prioritizes, what I prioritize is acts of service. And that's how I show to someone that, yo, I love you because I'm doing these things. And she prioritizes quality time. How I see that being important is, okay, well, here I am doing all these things for you. And that's how I'm showing you that I love you, because that's my whole life experiences. But you are looking at me like I don't love you because I'm not spending quality time with you. It's important for me to know that.
I think
Uh-oh.
my distaste for all this, I think I'm very far removed from that conversation. But
Yeah.
I think my distaste for it is
We can tell.
is the just the very question of like, what the fuck is quality time? I don't think quality time is actually a thing. There is just time.
So okay, and that I think that goes back to like you saying like there's a bigger conversation need to be had, right?
Yeah.
I say that all the time. What is quality time? Is it a duration of time? Is it when we do spend time, it can be for 5 minutes, but without technology? Like what the fuck is it?
Yeah.
Define it first.
Yeah.
All those things have to be defined specific to the person for sure. I also just can see the benefit in it. Good or bad, you know, so I choose to see the positive in it. Anyways, so when we had that conversation that day, this was kind of like your approach. It's like, let's get the fuck off it because there's no, why are we talking about something that don't need to be talked about?
I think I had a fresh discussion about that recently to that time, I think is what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I could easily just be jaded here, but I think also just the benefit you're seeing of my efforts are being misconstrued or just missed is a discussion in and of itself. And I think that this weird artifice of well, did you acts of service enough? You know,
Did you access service?
you know, like it feels to me like it's a could be a useful tool for reflection, but what I think it ends up being used as is or at least I've experienced as a tool of dismissal of like, but that's not how I receive it. And I'm like, sure, this is who I am. This is how I do things. And I think that I think the way that I express it gets misunderstood in the same way that the way that I am trying to flex into how you see it is being missed. Okay. And I think that's the discussion, not what's your mood ring, you know?
Yeah. So I say this thing, right, that no interaction is ever personal.
Mhm.
It's always like a reflection of what that person is going through or their experiences, and they're just projecting that.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I understand like what you're saying. At least I think I understand what you're saying.
I felt very inarticulate. So if you did, nice.
Yeah, let me double down on that. You sounded stupid as fuck.
Great.
All right.
Great.
But yeah. That just makes me think now. So why are you avoiding that though?
Less that I want to avoid it and more that I feel like I've hit the point where it's a waste of time on me to try to look at it through this lens. Much like how we were talking about trying to persuade someone, I feel this tool is very impersuasive to me and is kind of muddying the water and taking me out of what you're trying to actually describe.
So then what would be the compromise? Because partnerships is about compromising, right? So like
Really?
what is the compromise? Is it? Damn.
Yeah, no. To I think the compromise is to talk about taking myself out of it, the royal you. What does one do in that situation? I think is to just try to communicate where your feeling of being missed is, where your feeling of being misunderstood is, and try to pin down what is enough for you, like what is not enough, and what would it look like for all these misfires to actually be working right, and help me see what you are seeing, help me see what you're seeing, and then give me the opportunity to describe what I'm seeing and what I'm living and what effort I'm exerting over the situation.
What is the problem, if there's a problem with that way of going about it, or challenge?
It definitely puts more responsibility on the person to be able to actually identify it. And I get that the idea is that this tool is a tool to help you identify it. However, I think if it's not helping, then it is giving you the false sense that it is helping, and you need a different tool. I don't know what that tool is on the spot, but I know that there are tools, just as you didn't know this was the thing before.
Right.
But yeah. I don't know. My general distaste for it is also just that I think it was like one book from like, I don't want to put a date on it, but if I remember right, it was from like the 70s. Could be wrong. The 70s had some dubious psychology practices anyway. I feel like there is an updated tool, a better tool of understanding, a better lens of understanding it. And like if it's this dire, then I think like therapy of some kind is probably more up to date and more going to better help you than like self-help articles or something. I think I don't know. I find there's a lot of snake oil out there for well-being and mental health that is very hollow.
So and this is an assumption, and I know that I shouldn't do this, but there are, because you mentioned therapy.
Yeah.
And what I think, so a problem in what you're saying, not a problem with what you're saying, but like to add on to it is some people do choose to go that route, the therapy route. And then you have their therapist telling them, okay, well, here's the love languages. You see, their therapist is reinforcing this thing.
Yeah.
So then they bring that back into the partnership.
Sure.
So yeah, that. Anyways, how you feel about therapy? You use it?
I haven't gone myself, but I'm surrounded by people who sing its praises all the time. I think it's overly stigmatized, even in a day today where all my friends are able to feel comfortable talking about it. I still see people who are not, or who won't even give it the consideration. But I've always felt that I don't think I'm in need of it. Not that I am perfect or not that I am complete, but that I feel like I'm not pursuing guidance because I don't feel like I don't have a heading. I don't feel lost. I don't know if not even that's a prerequisite. I don't feel like it's a tool that I need or am missing yet.
Okay. Keyword yet. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Self-aware. Also, I mean, I guess hearing you say that tells me though that you have, I guess, people in your life that you can talk to, but not just talk to, that they want to listen to you and they want
Yeah.
to understand you.
Yes.
Okay. Cause like, so I just started going to therapy and listen, hold on. All right, because I had an emotional moment right there, so I had to get past it. But yeah, like, and the reason for it was like, and I'm gonna continue to go like be proactive with it. Is like, I'm 30 years young, right? And I've been trying to figure out who I am, and like come to like what's my truth, what's my purpose, and stuff like that. And for a long time, like I feel like I wasn't seen. Like my efforts was like kind of similar to what you said when you was a kid. Like you would say something in that other house, and they would do everything they can to misunderstand you.
Yeah.
So like that's how I felt for the longest. That's how I feel even sometimes today still. Is like, if you see me, then you understand that what I just did, there's no need for you to judge it negatively. You can see that I'm coming from a pure place. So that's why, so now I go to therapy. Just so someone, and I don't even know if she cares to fucking listen to me. I don't know. But it feels that way. Yeah. It's like I could just throw this shit at you and maybe it won't stick to the wall, but it's like you open to listening to me. Whereas there's people that I would consider that's in my circle of influence. You're in that shit, by the way. But that's in my circle of influence. If I say something to them, they'll just be like, "Yo, you crazy." It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. Why?
I know I'm very lucky to not, or to have a home for these kind of thoughts. And I know that that's not common. But also why I'm realistic with the idea that like I don't think I need it in my current situation, but I know it's a tool available to me, and that in itself is, I think, comforting, and what a lot of people need to remind themselves.
So how'd you go about, and maybe it just happened, so maybe it's an unfair question, but like gathering this Autobot group of people who may be willing to listen to you?
Got real lucky. Most of them are from my high school friends.
Wow.
Elementary school friends.
Oh, these are all the people that got fucked up past.
Yeah.
This makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we all also like frame it like, okay, how am I gonna get the guys to laugh about this fucked up shit? You know? And like, I don't know, I'm very lucky. I've had a Facebook group chat that's been active every day since 2007.
Wow.
Yeah. First chatted like movies, like how do we get to the movie theater, because we're like 10, you know. Like
wow.
We were in 10. I don't know how old I was in 2007, but it's been active every day. I spent this whole summer going to their weddings. Like it's
wow.
We're all very tight knit. Talk every day at least.
Hey, so what and I don't know how the universe works like this, but like, so recently I just been fortunate enough to like kind of assimilate a group like this. Real quick, Hello Jalen is one of them, Slim Bundy, and Mr. Koo Coops, another comedian. But just all people who's been through some shit.
Yeah.
And like those group, like our group chat, like if someone else seen it,
we had like in like first or second year of college, had a leak where someone who was in it, we had a leak. Someone who was in it left their phone unattended, and someone not intended to read got through everything, and that was
damn.
Yeah,
but y'all still got the chat though, so that's the most important
still got chat. I don't remember there being anything that great. The other thing too, there's actually a dozen of us in there. There's shit going on there that like I missed it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
we were like high school or early college kids at the time, so it was definitely heinous. But yikes. Yeah, no, that's all.
So anyhow, what I get from that, not to brush that off, is damn, that's crazy that you guys were able to link up in high school, and then like, because I can imagine like how beneficial that would have been for me to like, oh, y'all see me, cool, am I crazy? But like anybody like listening or watching, bro, you do have a tribe or like-minded folks. It's just a matter of like finding them, and sometimes maybe it's not in your hometown or your city that you live in or whatever. But just know you're not alone. And I know you hear that a lot probably, and it's annoying because you think it sounds like, what's that word? Cheesy or something. Yeah. But like for real though, you are not alone. Like I was happy to know that there's other people other hunter, secure Solomons out there. So bringing it all back, that's what attracted me to you. I didn't know at first. It was just like, who the fuck is this guy? Who's this guy? And then, come to find out that he's just as weird as I am. All right, cool.
Everyone's a fucking weirdo.
But not everyone will admit that.
Yeah, and everyone tries to find like comfortable, socially acceptable ways to be a weirdo. Like, I still don't understand sports to the extreme that it has. And I think that's just a lot of people wanting to dork out about something that everyone else understands.
Right. And it's dork out about something. The games that you play. I remember first hearing the games that you play. I'm just like, what? Now, I low key want to play some of these games, but I feel like if I take these games back to my community, it's going it's not going to be cool for me, man.
Yep.
So like, yeah, that fuck. All right. The emotion is about to kick in, goddamn. Deal with it. It's over now. All right. I'm trying not to cry.
Right, who cares?
No. I care.
Okay.
Let me take a sip of this.
Sure.
Whew. Look. Again, I do want to repeat that. I have a therapist. You're not my therapist, so you're not getting paid for this, man. All right.
I chose to be here.
I like that you said chose. You knew you had options.
Yeah.
What makes someone free?
We're doomed to be free.
Whoa.
Everyone, that's a Sartre thing.
Whoa.
Which if you haven't gotten to him yet, you
No.
should. Yeah, he's good. He's on the offshoot of like if you're on Stoicism, then I think you should do next existentialism, Sartre and Camus. They're both great. But Sartre, I got reminded actually by your shirt that says authentic right there. He has a whole thing about being authentic and being your authentic self, not living in bad faith. And the idea is people live in bad faith. What that means is they choose to believe things that they know are not true because it makes them feel better about the immediate reality. They choose to believe they have fewer options than they do, but we are doomed to be free in that we have far more options than we would like, and it is not your authentic self to intentionally limit your options, to intentionally do something. Well, I guess I have to do it this way.
Have to do.
Exactly. They reject responsibility of it.
Yo, and not to get too much on this, but man, I'm an identical twin. Like, identical twin. That added to this shit. Like, because our perspectives is completely different. So it's like, hold on. Maybe I might be crazy or something. Because, like, what the fuck? Excuse my language. I keep on cursing. I'm going to be better. You know better. Do better. It's Sunday. I don't know what that means. What's up with time, by the way?
That's a big question.
It is. I'm sorry.
You're going to have to narrow that down.
Okay. Well, just like, I don't know, this concept of time and these days of the week. And like, I often now, luckily, because I'm like an entrepreneur now. So like Monday through Sunday don't really mean anything to me anymore. Whereas before it did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like, still,
I think that's the answer. It's completely perspective about what you do with your time.
Cool.
I don't know. I feel like I don't have enough of it. I
that too. We had that conversation?
No, but you sent me a text at like 1 a.m. and I responded. You sent me another text another day at like 4 a.m. I was still up. Like, I don't know if you were waking up or going to bed, but I was still up. And I had work the next morning.
Okay. No, I feel that way too. Like, why 24 hours in a day? Why they construct it that way?
I remember, this could be totally bullshit because I read it in high school, but I remember reading some summary of a study where this guy locked himself up in a cave with no semblance of what time it was, no semblance of what day and night was, and he just wanted to like freak out his circadian rhythms to see what his daily cycle would be like if he didn't know what the sun was doing. And it worked out to be that he would stay up for 22 hours and then sleep for like 10. And so like I think it was about that. I don't know, but the summary was not that we are naturally set for 24-hour cycles. We're closer to 30 something. Which we're getting off of what time is and more what will people default to. And I think the reason there's a night shift is because people can default to it.
Yeah. I would dig, what was that, 32-hour days?
Yeah.
I would dig that. I get pissed, bro. Like, my fault. Now I'm just venting.
Do it.
But like, okay, never mind. I can't. I can. I choose not to for specific reasons.
Authentic living.
Boom. Yeah. Earlier I mentioned that I was like stalking you on the Instagram.
Yeah.
There's not much to stalk because your shit is old.
Yeah,
but it's okay. So to the right of you over there, can you look to your right? Yeah. You see that? Nope. You looked at it already. To your right, right there. Yes. You know what that is.
Yeah.
I seen that you play.
Yeah.
All right, can you play something real quick? It's not tuned or nothing like that, but
See, when you went to the bathroom, I had a whole conversation to your camera. Saying like, oh, he's gonna come back from editing this and be like, oh, what is this guy doing? Looking around. I took the shit out and I tested to see if it was tuned. It is very much not.
that is so funny. And I just want to shout out to Steph Ferrari, who's the author. She gifted me that. Who gives people guitars?
Whole guitars? It's not a bad one.
No, it's not. She gifted me this thing, and so I appreciate you, Steph Ferrari. Thank you for gifting me this. And Hunter is about to do his best to play this untuned guitar right now.
Well, I have to tune it, but
Oh, okay.
I can figure out something.
I do have a tuner somewhere. He said I'm gonna do it by ear, professional. Now I'm gonna just give commentary while he's figuring that out because it'll be boring otherwise. Yeah. So if you guys didn't know, back in the day, and when I say back in the day, I mean when I was like 10 years old, I ran away from home. And the reason why I ran away from home is because I wanted to see my mama, right? My mom and my dad, they wasn't jiving too much. So I came up with this master plan. I said, Mama, I'm coming home. So she called, and I told you guys I have an identical twin brother. So she called, and my identical twin brother picked up. And this is back in the day where you had like those house phones, one upstairs, one downstairs. So my identical twin brother, he picked up, and my mom was like, hey, I'm here by McDonald's, like come through, blah, blah, blah. She didn't speak like that. That's how I'm just, reciting it. And then my twin brother, he took that information. He said, oh, hold on, Mom. Here's Jakai. Because that's my name. His name is Jakai. My name was Jakai. She couldn't differentiate our voices. And Mama, I'm upset that you couldn't, okay? But anyways, are you done, by the way? Okay. So then he gave me the phone, and then my mama said the same thing that she said to him. So then I was like, oh, okay, it's time. Game time. Like I told Hunter, it's game time today. So I went to McDonald's, and we proceeded to make our merry way back down south to North Carolina, the Rocky Mountains. I was happy. I'm like, I get to spend time with my creator. Like, damn, right? So we get down there, and my mama, she has like a modular home. I've never seen this thing before. It looked like a whole bunch of trailers, like they just made a transformer type thing. Like, anyway, so your hands hurting? Okay, you ready? Boom! And that's the end of my story, guys.
I was trying not to interrupt. I was like, oh, we're getting somewhere. All right, I guess fuck around a little bit.
Okay. Let me adjust this camera so y'all can really see this shit. And I apologize. I probably should have adjusted it earlier, guys. But fuck it. Damn. Should I sing to this?
There's no end to this. I'm just fucking around. So whatever you want to cut this off.
No, yeah. Let me just give some. You keep doing your thing, man. Now I gotta activate my Coco Bane. Here. Long time ago, we made it happen. Damn, he said, yo, you suck, bro. Stop.
I've only ever played because I wanted to. So I remember I had a very funny interaction where I went camping with a group of people. I'm playing my guitar, and so this other guy is so happy that someone else has one. He's like, "Can you do it?" I'm like, I don't want to play with you. I don't do this for you. I don't do it with anyone else. I just like how it sounds. So.
Yeah, wait. So should I leave the part in when I went upstairs to use the bathroom and you did this?
Wasn't very entertaining. I did it just for you to see in editing. So leave it in if you want. I don't care. But
okay, so that was just a clever way to say, Kai, shut the fuck up, don't sing. Let me do my thing. I got you. I don't listen to rules. Going down the mountain. Wait, this is not a thing? This is not a song?
Something.
Oh, this is something. What's the something?
This is Mosquito Song by Queens of the Stone Age.
I don't know that, but if you know it, can you sing it? And then we can do it together? No? You too nervous?
I don't think I could do both.
Oh, respect
and I
it.
also don't want to sing.
Okay. It's called what? Mosquitoes?
Mosquito Song.
Mosquito song. I'm gonna look up the lyrics right now. We finna get this thing. Mosquito song. Lyrics. Okay, Mosquito song by Queen.
Queens of the Stone Age.
Oh, I just seen Queens, but it's okay. Come on, don't do me like that. Mosquito. Lyrics. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now, I don't know. I've never heard this song before.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how you're going to solve that problem.
Yeah. So just start it and let me just get the tempo and shit. Excuse my language. I curse a lot. Dang, I'm about to mess this up. Okay. Wait, do they got? Is it a deep voice or is it not?
It's kind of light.
Light? What's light? Like la.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, now I'm really about to embarrass myself. It's okay. I know the sun is hot. Mosquitoes come suck your blood and leave you there all alone, just skin and bone. Okay, I like this. Okay. When you walk among the trees, listen to the leaves. The further I go, the less I know, the less I know. All right, look, I'm really starting to think I'm a singer. Look, man, this has been great. My guy, Hunter Secure Salmon, I appreciate you coming and hanging with me, man. I know you ended it before by saying anytime I want to chat, we can make this happen.
Yeah.
So I look forward to doing this again at least once a quarter.
Sure.
And bye-bye, folks. Cool, man.